Welcome back, everybody. I just wanted to start off this episode on a, well, it's a very sad note, really. I'm sure, obviously, most people are aware that last week we lost a member of the YouTube community, John RetroKit, unfortunately passed away. I still can't believe it, really. It's just so awful, terrible. And I just wanted to sort of pass on my sympathies, really, to his family and friends. I mean, it just must be awful at the moment. There's a couple of really lovely videos been put up on YouTube by his close friends, Russ the Retro Bear and Mike, Mahli Club. And I'll just put I'll put the links in the description below. If you haven't watched them, you know, and you knew John or knew of his channel, just go check him out and give him a watch. And there's some lovely comments. You know, you can leave a comment in John's memory, and just really nice thing to do. But I just wanted to put this little segment in front of my video just to pass on my condolences, really. I was fortunate enough to meet John a couple of times. Once out game hunting, and I shall treasure that day now for forevermore. In Vintage Gamer, and then we went on to a couple of other places, where I also met Mike, who's done the video I mentioned. And then I also met him at Birmingham Gaming Market, which is the last time I saw him, in December last year. And he did offer me a lift to Doncaster Gaming Market on Sunday, which you know, would have been obviously great. Really nice of him. Such a nice guy, John. And he was, you know, he offered to come out of his way to pick me up en route, and like I said, take me up to the Doncaster Gaming Market. So that just kind of typifies, you know, what a great guy he was, and he's going to be so sadly missed. But like I say, check out the other tribute videos that I mentioned. Also, Rob Gurnaldinho has done one in his memory as well. I'll put links to all three videos in the description below. Please go check them out if you can. And you know, just to sort of pay your respects to John RetroKit. So I thought, in kind of tribute to John, if you like, because he'd famously got an Xbox 360 full set, I'd just do a collection video on my 360 collection. Now the 360 is not a collection that is very big of mine. It's the generation of gaming where I really fell away from gaming, to be honest, and it's the generation I've got least affinity with. And you know, if I had to get rid of some consoles, it would probably be that generation first. You know, the 360 and the PS3. The Wii to a lesser extent, but I don't know, for whatever reason it was, gaming had just gone in a direction for me that, you know, it wasn't appealing to me. So, although I had one right from the launch, a 360 and a PS3 for that matter, and I had a few games, I never really, you know, felt the love, and consequently, when I moved out a few years later, I sold it off. And so this is what I've recollected in recent years, when you've been able to pick it up all, you know, for peanuts, really. Because let's be honest, it's a great system to collect for now if you're into it, because the games are dirt cheap in the most part. So I'll run through what games I've got. I'm not going to dwell on any of them because I don't want the video to go on too long. You know, it's not really about that, really. So the first one I've got is SSX. Obviously, it was a good franchise back in the day. I've only played this briefly. It seemed alright, actually. You can't really go wrong with a snowboarding game, can you? And then we've got Virtua Tennis 3, which is excellent, obviously. Dreamcast original, but this is great. This is where the predominant part of my collection is like arcade based stuff, because that's the only thing I'm interested in, really. Table tennis, I had this new back in the day, wasn't expecting much, but this is a blooming good game. I mean, it's tennis really, but obviously table tennis. But honestly, that is really worth playing. It's a good game. Sega Superstars Tennis. I don't ever remember playing this, to be honest. I don't know where I've had this from. This is a bundle copy. So I don't know. I'd imagine that's all right. I don't know. Then I've got Beijing 2008. You can see a theme here, kind of this Sega so far. I do like a multi-event sports game, like track and field, Daley Thompson's Decathlon, the all-time classic. And then we've got Blazing Angels. Now this, not generally the kind of game I play, but kind of an arcadey, mission-based flight combat style game. Not bad at all, to be honest. And we've got the sequel as well, Blazing Angels 2. All these are complete, by the way. Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts. Obviously, the original's on the N64. And Rare got bought up by Microsoft, didn't they? And God knows whatever happened to them. I've played a bit of this. It seemed reasonable, but I mean, the N64 ones are just mega, aren't they? I've never tried this beyond. I've never played this beyond trying to make sure it works. I picked this up not so long back in a charity or cash converters or somewhere. I mean, I've obviously heard it's amazing, but I ain't got the patience really to play a game of this size. I'll maybe try it one day, because I'm sure it's brilliant. Everybody says it is. Kind of same principle here really. Grand Theft Auto 5. Again, I found this in some cheap cash converters or charity shop, and it's in lovely condition with both discs and the map, and you know, I did have a quick go on this and it did seem quite reasonable actually, but again, I might get round to it one day, hopefully. And these are all the same really. I'm a bit of a cycling nut, you know, that's my other passion. So I've got Tour de France 2012. They're all the same really, to be honest. It's just different, much like FIFA. It's all just different, updated teams and rosters and things like that. And then we've got 2014. Then we're on to racing games, which is the bulk of my collection, to be honest. Forza Horizon. These are blooming good games, I've got to say. You can't go wrong with them really. Forza Horizon 2. And then we've got Forza Motorsport 2. Forza Motorsport 3. And then we've got the nice box set of Forza Motorsport 4. Really nice actually, this one. Comes with a nice, I don't know what you'd call it really. I wouldn't call it an art, well I mean it is an art book, but it's just kind of, obviously it's about cars, but really nice. And then you've also got a nice steel book as well. I'm getting into steel books, I've got to say, I really do like them. So yeah, not in bad condition to be honest. I think I picked that up in CEX at some point. Forza Motorsport 4. And then we've got Project Gotham Racing 4. Again, this is really, really good. You can't really go far wrong with that, isn't it? Like most of these, they're all dirt cheap if you know, if you're interested in picking them up. Race Pro. I don't know where I've had this quite recently, I think in the last couple of years. Again, beyond trying it, make sure it works, I don't think I've played it. It's an Atari game. Couldn't tell you if it's any good, but that's Race Pro anyway. This is really good actually. Split Second Velocity. Really good arcade racer with like destructive elements, and the track sort of explodes in front of you, and real good that is. This was a disappointment. World of Outlaws Sprint Cars. I picked this up after seeing it on, I think Big Game Al showed it when he was going, you know, because he's going for a full set. plays like a dog, I think. It's a shame because it looks quite nice, but I'm not a fan. Blur. Now, I remember this being good, but I haven't played it in years. But I'm sure it was an arcadey sport, it's like an arcadey street racer type thing. I don't know if, yeah, I think this is the one with power-ups, a bit like Mario Kart as well. But it's all set at night, I believe, with a lot of neon. You know, it looks quite cool. I'll need to try that again, actually. F1 Race Stars. Quite a cool little kart racer based in the F1 world, only like cartoon based. I think that's really quite good, to be honest. A lot of these are also on the PS3, obviously. Then we've got Sonic and Sega All Stars Racing. Banjo-Kazooie's in this Xbox One, obviously. I'm looking for this on the PS3 at the moment, actually. The transformed one. That is a belting game. Far better than Mario Kart, in my opinion. Later Mario Kart. The early ones, brilliant. The later ones, you can keep them. Then we've got, this is a bit of a double pack. We've got Trials HD, which is an awesome little game. Limbo, I don't think I've played. What's the other one? Splosion Man. No, never tried that. I bought this one for Trials, to be honest. That's really good. Because I think it was on Xbox Live originally, if I remember right. This is another one that don't play very well, I think, from memory. Barger, Edge of Control. I'm sure it was this one that don't play that well. Kind of beach, buggy, 4x4 racing. Now this is a good game, Pure. And this is you don't see this variant so often, I don't know, it's got like a metallic sleeve on it. I don't know what the significance of it was. Aside from it came with an art book, which I have got this, the art book rather. Some idiot had written on it. But it is a nice sleeve. Like quad bike racing, really good. Need for Speed The Run. I don't really like Need for Speed games, but I do quite like this one, The Run. That is really quite good. I'd recommend that one. I've picked this up. I've never actually played this, I don't think. Hot Pursuit. This one's supposed to be good as well, I think. And we've got Need for Speed Shift. Now, this is more serious. This is more like Gran Turismo style game. But again, I did quite like the bit I've played of that. Probably the best game on the system for me. Ridge Racer 6. This went. It was this one that went crazy money when it went backwards compatible. But yeah, love Ridge Racer. So for me, that's probably my favourite game on the system. And we've got Ridge Racer Unbounded, which is kind of Ridge Racer in name only, really. But it's a decent little arcade racer. More like that split second really than Ridge Racer, but it's alright, that is. This really is a cracking game. Flat out ultimate carnage. And there's about, I think there's 4 flat out games. First 2 are on the original Xbox, and then there's this one, and then flat out 4 is on the PS4. I don't know if it's on the Xbox One, I'm not sure. I would imagine it probably is, but they're all awesome games. Thoroughly recommend them. That's one, again, that's one of my favourite games on this system. And then finally we've got my pile of, it's kind of a bit of a mixed pile really. We've got some fighters to start with. We've got Persona 4 Arena. Obviously the Persona games are normally like adventure role-playing type games, isn't it? But this one and Ultimax are really nice looking one-on-one fighters. Thoroughly recommend these. If you're a completionist, this is supposed to come with a soundtrack, so just watch out for that if you're after that. And then we've got the fantastic Soul Calibur 4. Love Soul Calibur, you can't go wrong, they're all amazing. And we've got Soul Calibur 5. I do remember seeing this in a special edition version in a local CX a few months back. And it looks like an old-fashioned book. Kind of regret not buying that really, but still an amazing game. Then we've got Virtua Fighter 5, again, awesome Sega arcade style game. That's what's running in the background. It's not, it was till the screen decided to dull itself. Yeah, Virtua Fighter 5. I should have said that's done patchy on the Saturn. Then we've got King of Fighters 12. There's another King of Fighters game, which is one of the very few 360 games I'm after. 13, I think. So that's one I'm still hoping to pick up. You know, you can't go wrong with King of Fighters again. Just love it. Then this is amazing, I've got to say. Street Fighter X Tekken, or Cross Tekken, whatever you want to call it. This game is phenomenal, and it's less than a tenner. Honestly, if you like fighters, you need this in your collection. It's brilliant, and it looks fantastic. Marvel vs Capcom 3. I'm sure this is the one I never got on with really. But I mean, it does look nice. Now this, I picked up this quite recently, in the last few months. Splatterhouse. It's getting really expensive on the PS3, so it's about half the price on the Xbox. I can see this going, you know, quite a lot more expensive in the future. Being Splatterhouse, you know, and it don't seem that common. And I believe you can unlock the original games as well at some point. So might be one to look out for. And this game in itself seems quite a decent sort of. It's a very dark, gory beat 'em up, but it's good. Then we've got some Xbox Live arcades. I like this kind of stuff. Just simple arcade fun. And there's 5 games on here, I think. Yeah, you've got Pac-Man Championship Edition, Uno. Oh, a bit of Uno. Boom Boom Rocket, which I'm sure is good, but I can't for the life of me remember what it's like. Feeding Frenzy, which is fantastic. That's like a modern version of Shark on the Intellivision, I think. And then Luxor 2. And then there's a second one of those. What's this called? It's Xbox Live Arcade again. This looks like it's German or something. Or French maybe. Anyway, it's got Lumines Live, Geometry Wars 2 and Bomberman Live on it, so again, 3 good games really. Then we're into the shooters that I've got, and we've got Akai Katana. Really good. It is bullet hell. I'm not getting on very well with bullet hell, but nevertheless, it's a great game on the Xbox. And in a similar vein, we've got Donpachi Resurrection, which is why I put Donpachi there off on the Saturn on, you know, just for a bit of continuity, if you like. Great games. Can't go wrong with them, really. Then we've got Death Smiles. Again, fantastic sort of themed and visually stunning looking game. Absolutely love it. This does come with, this is 3 discs I think, this one, if I remember right, if you're on the lookout for it. Yeah, because you've got the game, you've got the soundtrack, and then you've got a desktop disc as well. But it's an awesome game. And then we've got Under Defeat HD, which is an update of a game off the Dreamcast. Really good. It's just got quite difficult to get used to, but it's a really good game. And then the last shooter and the last game I've got to show you is Wartech, which again is a shooter, well, of sorts. It's called something else in Japan, Senko no Rondo or something. But when I was after all the shooters on the 360 that was out PAL, I'd got to buy it, but it's cheap for a reason, to be honest. I think it's pants. I'm still looking out for the Capcom collection, which has got 1942 on it and Final Fight, and so like I say, there's probably 2 or 3 360 games I'm after. But beyond that, I'm pretty much my collection's where I want it to be, really. And there we go. That's my Xbox 360 collection. I just thought it might be nice to show that off in sort of memory to John, who was such a fan of the 360. I know it's not for everybody. It's not for me necessarily. Though there are some really good games on it. I am just very selective with it myself. But thanks for watching anyway, and like I said earlier, check out those videos if you haven't already, and you were aware of John. Go check them out. They're great videos to watch, and just pay your respects to a great lad who unfortunately isn't around anymore. But thanks for watching anyway, and I'll see you again soon. Sayonara.